no. Listen to me very carefully right now. I came here to give you a gift. That's why I'm here. I'm a very busy lady. I got a lot on my plate. Put your hand down, young man, and listen. Today, you're going to get something because you are going to make sure that you receive the gift that I came to give. And the way you receive it is to really absorb everything that you hear today. See what I'm talking about? But look at the rest of it. You are getting it. You understand already the importance of listening. Because you will, what listening does for you is it will cause you to become a strong adult. You're somebody who's successful, somebody who will do well in life. Many of you will start your own business. All of you are not going to college, but many of you will start your own business and will probably become a millionaire working hard. You have to work hard in this life. I worked so hard that I became the first African-American female to ever serve on St. Lucie County School Board. That's how hard I worked. And if you work hard, you will find people will come into your life and they will help you because they know that you want to help yourself. So as you help yourself, you're going to find people that's going to want to help you. And that's what I found. If it wasn't for people going out and voting, I would not be here today. They could have really wanted it to be, but if they did not go out to the voting polls and vote for this woman you're looking at right now, she would not be one of the 5 school board members that controls what goes on in the public school system. All schools, okay? All schools. I'm one of the top people, pyramid, like a triangle, that help to control the rules, regulations, your safety, your education, your well-being. Why am I here today? Because I worked hard and I listened well. Not because I came from the perfect home. I had a lot of problems in my household. A lot. I can stand here today and tell you I did not have a loving mother or a loving father. I had a rough childhood. But one thing I understood, who I was on the inside. And so I bring you this gift of people from all over this community that come to share their story with you. And they come to share their story for the purpose so that you can understand that we all go through. We all have obstacles. We all have challenges. We all have disappointments. But guess what? We can make our life successful. You can't help nobody else make their life successful. You might can help them, but you can't make nobody do anything. But you can make yourself do it. So our first speaker for this year at Del Cassins, and we're all over the county. We go to all the different schools. I just came from Sam Gaines. And we do the same thing. We're giving gifts out to our students by bringing people from the community into your school to speak into your life using their own life story. So I don't have much time to tell you mine, but one day I'm going to tell you mine. You would not believe the rejection that I had in my life, where nobody around me thought I could do anything. In fact, I had one person tell me that I would probably be a barefoot mother with a whole bunch of kids and no daddy in the house when I grew up. That's the type of stuff I had here. And I know there's somebody here that hears stuff like that too. And boy, that individual, he could cuss. We were scared to death in my household because of the stepfather. So, guess what I'm here to tell you? You can make it through that if you're going through that. And if you have a supportive home with good parents, or a grandma who is a good parent, or an auntie, or a foster parent, or whoever you have, if you have somebody that's good in your life, make sure you take what you got and you use it to be the best person that you can end up being in life. Because we need you to be the best. We need people in our community that is going to make it better. And guess what? You can be one of those people. So today, I bring to you Deputy Chief Frank Amandro. He's a longtime friend of mine, and he is going to tell you, now, that's the second man in charge of the entire police department, okay? He used to be the chief in charge of the first one. Now he is second in command to the entire Fort Pierce Police Department. But boy, does he have a story to share with you. Thank you for coming, Deputy Chief Amandro. I want you to take everything you hear, listen carefully, so that you can change your life and make your life better, okay? Here he goes. Put your hands together.
Thank you, Dr. Mills. She has a great story. I have a very similar story to Dr. Mills. So you might be asking yourself, how can I relate? I'm an old man, 50 years of age. How can I relate to sixth graders? You guys, what, 11 and 12? No? Okay. We're pretty close, right? 11, 12, 13? All right. So how can someone that you're thinking to yourself, well, he's just an old man, he's out of touch, he can't relate to what we're going through today? Well, I can. And maybe you'll hear my story and then you can see how I can relate, even though that I'm an old guy, okay? Well, I was born in Vermont back in 1967, so that makes me 50. I did not know who my biological father was. My mom divorced him at a very young age. I think I was 2 when she got divorced. And why did she get divorced? Because he was an alcoholic and he was a drug user. And she did not want her kids growing up in that type of environment. So from very on, I did not have but one parent in the house. And that's very difficult. How many people have one parent in the house? So my mom had to play my mom and my dad, So I can certainly relate to those that only have one parent in the house. Okay? By the time I reached high school, we had lived in 5 different states. I moved a total of 20 different times. So from one school district to another school district. How many people have changed schools or moved? Right. And what are the challenges when we are the new kid on the block? Because I was the new kid in class numerous times. Right? I told you I moved to 5 different states and I moved to 20 different districts in those 5 moves. So I can imagine that those that change schools, you're the new kid, you get picked on, don't you? As the new kid. Sometimes you get bullied. Who keeps on saying no? You don't get picked on? Never? Okay. Not even going up to the next grade. You watch, you will. Okay? And is it fun? Is it a fun process? No. It's very discouraging. Who has, by a show of hands, who has brothers and sisters? All right? So pretty much all of us do. All right? Who has older brothers and sisters? Okay? So your brothers and sisters have gone to this school or your school prior to you, right? Okay. How many of us love our brothers and sisters? Right? They're good role models for us, right? Okay? How many of us have had brothers and sisters that have gotten in trouble? Okay? Maybe in trouble with the law, right? Well, I too have a older sister. Okay, she's 2 years older than I am. Okay, at the age of 14, on my mom's birthday, she ran away from home. And she called my mom and said, "Happy birthday." I ran away. Okay, she got involved in drugs and a whole bunch of other bad stuff. Okay, she wasn't a very good student in school. Right? So me, as a younger brother coming up through school, what do you think that led to. Getting picked on by older students. And what do you think the teacher said? Well, oh, here comes another Amandro. He's just a bad seed just like his sister was. And so that's another challenge or hurdle that we have to overcome. Sometimes our own family members certainly pave a very difficult way for us, right? So why do I tell you my story? Why do you think I tell you my story? So I can relate to you, because I'm going to give you some advice just like Dr. Mills had given you, okay? All right? I want to make sure that you guys know that me as deputy chief, I did not live a charmed life. Nothing was given to me on a silver platter, and no one just came and gave it to me, okay? Like Dr. Mills said, it's a lot of hard work, and we all have obstacles, you know? Do not ever let anyone ever tell you that you cannot do something. Because each and every one of you are a valuable member of our society. You're not children, you're young people. Okay, you have feelings and you have emotions, you have dreams, and you have desires. You know? And what's the most important part of being successful is to have a dream. Right? Life without dreams is a very difficult life, a very sad life. All right? What do you think my dream was? Young lady. Nope, that was not my first dream. My first dream was to be a football player. Okay? How many want to be a pro football or baseball or something like that? Right? Quite a few of us. Right? Now, do I look like a football player? No. Nope. I did maybe in my younger days because I was a lot bigger back then, okay? But I worked my tail off. I was a great football player in the state of Kentucky. I made All-State. Do we know what All-State means? You know, so you're the best of the best in the state. So I thought I had an opportunity to be a pro football player, you know? But you guys looked at me and said, there's no way he can be a football player. So I quickly learned that I couldn't be a pro football player. So I had another dream. And my second dream was to be an artist. And I actually went to school to be an artist. I went to college to be an artist. You know, and my art toured around the state. It toured overseas in Japan for a number of years. And I was a very good artist. I'm still a very talented artist. You know, and when I graduated college, I went to work for 2 years as a graphic designer in New York City. Okay? And you think, all right, you got it made. All right? I've now reached a level of success, which I thought that I did. But sometimes life throws us hurdles and curveballs or obstacles that sometimes we have no control over. Right? We don't have control over brothers and sisters and family members. You know, all we have control over is ourselves. And so sometimes life throws us curveballs and obstacles that we have no control over. Have you learned what a recession is? Does anyone know what a recession is? Okay. Okay. Well, I'll phrase it another way if you guys don't know what a recession is. I lost my job. Okay? Not because of anything I did, because the company could not afford me anymore. So here I am living in New York all by myself. I have an apartment to pay for. I have food to pay for. And in a moment's notice, I lost my job. Do you think that I could survive without having a job? Right? So that's what brought me to Florida, because my mom and dad were living in Florida, because my mom had remarried and my dad, as I know it, adopted me at a younger age. You know, so it's important, like Dr. Mills says, you're going to have very influential people come into your life. You know, you need to reach out to those people and grab a hold of those people and embrace what they have to say, what they have to do, and what they have to offer for you. You know, but that's what led me to Florida, is because I lost my job because of a recession. And again, no fault of my own. I was a hardworking individual. You know, I did a great job, but they could no longer afford me, so I lost my job. And I came to Florida. When I was working as a graphic designer, I was making $40,000 a year, which was a pretty good salary back in the day. Then I came to Florida, and the only job I could get was working at a gas station. And I went from making $40,000 a year to $7,000 a year. You know, didn't have enough. That didn't provide enough to buy my own or rent my own apartment or provide food or anything like that. You know, so I had to get a second job, and I ultimately got a third job just to make ends meet. You know, so it takes a lot of hard work, a whole lot of hard effort on your part. Okay, but that's ultimately when I decided to become a police officer or a law enforcement officer. And do you think that I just rose through just started as the deputy chief? No. Where do you have to start as a police officer? At the bottom, or a rookie, right? Very good. And how do you think that I got to where I am today?
By hard work.
Hard work and what else? Training. What else, young lady? Listening to the people influence you. Great answer. A lot of time, a lot of effort, right? They're all great answers. But what else? Yes, sir. Dedication. I'm looking for a couple things, and if you remember back to what Dr. Mills said, you might remember. Yes, young man. Did you have your hand up?
Never gave up.
Never gave up. That's a great answer. What's another word for never giving up? Perseverance, right? Okay. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Say that again, please. Yes, I built on each success. Each time I went from a police officer to a detective, you know, I used what I gained there, that success, and moved up to the next level as well. Okay? You still not remembering what Dr. Mills said. Yes, sir.
Helping the community?
Well, that's why I became a police officer, is helping my community. Okay? Being a role model for young people just like you. Yes. Being happy with what I was gifted. Yes. Okay? That's a great answer. The other answer I'm looking for is influential people in your life. Okay? It could be a teacher. It could be your next door neighbor. It could be an uncle or an aunt. Okay? It could be someone that's sitting right next to you. It's important to get to know those people. It's important to get to know people like Dr. Mills and myself. Does everyone know what the word mentor means? Or have we heard what mentoring is? Yes, young man. Helping other people. That's the core to mentorship. Yes. You had an answer? Okay, that's fine. We can say ditto. You know? Yes, young lady. Doesn't have to be a bad person, you know, they did something wrong, but a great answer. They do help people, okay? That's why I'm here today, is to sort of help mentor you, because I'm taking my experiences and how I succeeded in life, and now offering that to you. Right? So it's very important to have those people in your lives, you know. So what is the moral of my story? Moral of my story is, and how can I relate to you as a bunch of sixth graders, a bunch of young, upcoming people? Okay? You've all raised your hands to the questions that I've asked you. Okay? We all have had obstacles in our life. You know, that is a part of life. Life is just not an easy ride. You know, no matter what life or walk of life that you come from, you know, yeah, I look different than most of you, but I can still relate because I still have the same challenges. You know, life does not discriminate against people. You know, it treats people pretty much the same way. We all have those challenges, whether you're an old white guy a young person, all walks of life. Life has challenges and they can come at any time. So you have to have dreams and desires, and you have to have a lot of them, because sometimes things happen that you can't fulfill that dream. So what's your dream, young lady? What do you want to be when you grow up? A lawyer. It's a great dream. What if something happens and that does not work out? What do you want to do next? A teacher. Yes, ma'am. Construction worker. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay. All great dreams, and you should reach for the stars, because each and every one of you have the potential of being whatever you want to be, regardless of what challenges that you face, regardless of where you come in life, or where you come from, or who you were born to. It's important to understand that. And that's why I'm here today. My life wasn't a privileged life. There's some people that grow up in a very privileged society, But I had the same dreams that you guys had. I dreamt of being a football player. But God didn't make me that way. He didn't get, I wasn't 6'2" and 250 pounds and can run a 4.40, But then you have to dig deep down inside and say, okay, well, that's done and over with. What's my next dream? And so sometimes we have to pick ourselves up after being knocked down. And that's where perseverance came. Who said perseverance before? They said it a different way. Yeah. So life is all about perseverance, because we're all going to have adversity, and we have shining examples right in this room of people that have overcome their challenges, or have worked very hard, may not have had challenges. Dr. Mills is a shining example. We don't have to turn to pro football players, like LeBron James to be successful. But we've had people in our own community that are extremely successful. Everyone knows Khalil Mack, right? Who's Khalil Mack? NFL player. Do you know what team he works for or plays for? Oakland Raiders, my favorite team, by the way. So there's shining examples from within our own community, because Fort Pierce sometimes has a bad reputation, that we're a depressed community, but you can overcome that. There's no reason why we have to have that stigma. Okay? If Khalil Mack can do it, does everyone know Charles Johnson? He was a baseball player for the Miami Marlins. He came from Fort Pierce. And I know I'm using pro ball players, but those are a few shining examples. But I told you that all of us have desires to be pro ball players. But you know that less than 1% of all Little League athletes will ever become a pro ball player? So what is our chances of becoming a pro ball player? 50-50. Who agrees with 50-50? Right? It's not 50-50. Okay? Right? There is probably, I would say, close to 100 people in this room. So 1% of 100 people is how much? 1. So one person that has the dream of becoming a pro athlete will actually become a pro athlete. So, show of hands again of who wanted to be a pro athlete. Okay. So I'm going to ask those people that have their hands up, what is your second dream? What's your third dream? Just in case it doesn't work out. And it may not work out because you're not good enough. Sometimes you just don't get selected. And those are things that are really out of our control, because I tried my hardest to be a pro athlete. I was in the weight room every day. I was running every day. I was studying film every day. And I was a pretty good athlete. And I made All-State in the state of Kentucky, so I was one of the better players there. But I just didn't make the cut. You know, I went on to play college ball for a year, but I didn't make the cut. And I put all my hard work and effort into it. But you have to have a second choice or plans when life throws you those obstacles. Yes, sir. Navy SEALs. Awesome. That takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and I'm sure that you have teachers that have been in the military. So that's what I'm talking about. Reach out to those teachers. They're shining examples of what you can be, and they'll help you. That's where mentoring comes in. You talk to your teachers on what you want to do. Those teachers that are artists or musicians or biologists or scientists, those are the people that you need to talk to, and they'll help you through that career path. Yes, sir.
I want to be a baseball player. If I don't be a baseball player, I want to be that.
Awesome. That's awesome. Okay.
I want to be an NFL. I want to be an NFL player. I was one sports I like, but I'm back on the coach is a therapist.
Awesome. And we need lots of those. The pro ball players need therapists all the time, right? Yes, sir. The Navy SEAL. That's awesome. That's great. They're great plans and dreams. Awesome. Very good. You guys have a lot of great dreams. Yes, sir. All right. Very good. I hear, and that's where our success starts from, is having a dream. We all have had dreams. And Dr. Mills and myself and your teacher, we all had dreams. So that's the first thing to become successful. And the second thing is right where you guys are, in school. You can't, your chances of being successful are far superior if you stay in school and get your education. High school education, your college education. More and more places are requiring a degree. In law enforcement, we require a degree now to get promoted. So if I didn't have my college degree to get promoted, I wouldn't be standing here before you today. I would still be a police officer. So it's always trying to gain more knowledge and better ourselves. All right. I think I'll open the floor to some questions because I know that everyone loves to ask police officers some questions. Yes, ma'am. Is my job fun? Yes, it's absolutely fun. And thank you for asking that question. That is a great question and a very important question. Anything that we do, we should have fun doing. Okay? Well, my job isn't always about catching bad guys. That's only a very small portion of my job. But I have fun. I have fun coming to events like this and speaking to our young people. That's my most rewarding. But anything that we do, we ought to have to try to have fun with. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. I understand your question. She asked, do I really get to be a police officer that much, seeing that I'm the second in command? No, I don't, unfortunately. I handle a lot of paperwork, but that's when you, like the principal will tell you, she doesn't get to teach very much anymore. Dr. Mills doesn't get to teach much anymore, so it takes people in our positions to make sure that the school runs properly. But I needed that experience as a patrol officer. Dr. Mills and the principal needed that experience as teachers to get to the positions that they're in now. Yes, sir.
Are you do you have to use a gun like to shoot dummies?
Practice. Okay? Anything that we do, you need to practice and you need to work at. Okay? Because you don't become good automatically. There's very few people that God has given that gift to. You know? So anything that you do takes a lot of work and a lot of hard effort in order to become good at it. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Is it hard? And I don't carry all the gear that our officers carry. Right now, I'm not wearing a bulletproof vest, and there's a couple of things on my belt that I don't wear. But having all that equipment, that weighs an extra 20 pounds. So it is very hard, especially in Florida with the heat. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Say that. Yes, we always got to wake up to go to our job. What time? Okay. Well, you know, a police officer, we work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So do you think I can work all that time? The answer is no. So we divide it amongst shifts. So for the most of my career, I worked midnight shift, meaning 6 at night to 5:30 in the morning, when most of you are sound asleep. So, and I had to work holidays and my kids' birthdays. Yeah. So you got to think about what career, and that's why it's important why you have mentors. So they're going to tell you about that career. Dr. Middle is going to tell you what it takes to become a teacher, right? So you can make a informed or a good decision. Let's see, who haven't I talked to before? Okay, come here. Yes. Okay, there are certain things that we have to experience if we're going to carry that piece of equipment on our belt. So he asked if I got tased. Yes, I have got tased. You know, and you might ask, well, why do you have to get tased? Because we have to experience it. So when I go to court and testify, you know, that I can express how that feels. Just like our OC spray. You know, we got pepper spray. I had to go through that process as well. Yep. Yes, young lady. Never mind. Okay. Yes. No, fortunately, I had never had to shoot anyone, and it's something that we never want to do. You know, we are trained for that possibility, but for the most part, our officers really do not want to ever have to pull their gun. Well, we qualify twice a year, so yes, I use my gun quite often in training, but only in training purposes. No. All right. He asked if he can touch my gun. We all know what gun safety is, right? And we've covered that in school, right? I know I'm running out of time, so everyone put their hands down and I'll touch on that. You know, guns are a very prevalent part of our society, okay? By a raise of hands, how many know that their parents have a gun in the house? Okay? All right? And we know those safety protocols, right? Right? So let me ask this. If you're on the way home from school, and you see a gun in the bushes, what do you do? I haven't heard from you. Don't touch it. Call for a police officer. Do we know how to call for a police officer? 911. Excellent. Okay. Let me finish up. Sit down. All right, I think that I'm just about out of time. Hold on. I think that I'm just about out of time, you know, but I hope that you can relate to my story, at least a little bit, you know. So I'm not too different than you. I may be a lot older than you, may look a little different, you know. And I lost my hair years ago, you know. But we all come from the same place. the same, we all have very similar stories, you know? But through hard work, through perseverance, setting goals and dreams for ourselves, we can accomplish anything. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't accomplish your dream. Because Dr. Mills and myself and the principal and your teachers are shining examples of that. And if you sit down and just talk with someone, you'll realize they're not much different than you. Color of my skin may be different. I may be a male and you may be a female. But we all have very similar stories. But the way to success is always the same. Through school, hard work, perseverance, we can achieve anything that we want to achieve. Never let anyone tell you that you can't do something, that you're not a valuable person in the society. Because we have people that say that, you know. But we have all the potential in the world right here in this room. We can be the President of the United States. We can be a doctor, a lawyer, a scientist, an astronaut. And we only do that through staying in school and hard work and meeting people through your life and embracing those people and what they have to say and what they have to offer. Right? So it's been my absolute pleasure to be here today and share my story with you. Hopefully you got a little bit out of it. And I offer to the principal, I'll come back whenever she needs me to come back or wants me to come back tomorrow. All right. But I was an instructor at the college for a couple years as well, and that's what I'll do when I retire. So, thank you very much.
Okay, don't go anywhere, Deputy Chief. Who's the one that raised their hand that want to become a lawyer? Where is she? Okay. Let me tell you a quick story. Now, this story's for all of you, but a quick story especially for you. I knew a little girl one time. She was 5 years old. She decided she wanted to become a lawyer, okay? Now, as she grew up, she wanted to become a ballerina and a lawyer. She wanted to become an actress and a lawyer at one point, but she always stuck to wanting to become a lawyer. She went on and worked real hard in school. She was teased in school. Some people were very mean to her because she worked hard, and you know how you have people that's jealous or, you know, they don't want you to do well because they're not doing well, or they try to pull you down because they're not going to do right. And because she was so determined to get her education, she had a group of girls that would tease her about that. Very beautiful young lady. But she stuck to it. She didn't let anyone get her upset. She didn't let anyone get her in trouble. She was one of the best students you could have. She worked very, very hard. And then she graduated and got a full scholarship to Howard University. Have you ever heard of Howard University? It's a famous black college in Washington, D.C. She went to Howard University, got her bachelor's degree, and then she met a young man while she was in college, and he wanted to get married, and she fell in love. But guess what she did? She was so sharp and so wise and so smart, she didn't even let that young man who she loved get in the way of her getting that college education. He went to Howard also. They graduated with their bachelor's degree at the same time. And then she said to him, I will marry you, but you have to first wait until I get my law degree. She was chosen to go, she applied to Yale University and was accepted there. Yale University at that time was the top law school in the nation, in the world. And then she got married. The summer that she got her law degree was the summer that they married. After that, the story's not finished. She worked as a federal prosecutor for several years, and then she left right here in Fort Pierce. This is a young lady that grew up right here in Fort Pierce. She graduated from Westwood High School. Then she left for a while in the law degree practice, and she went out to the projects, and she went out to different places in the community, and she started an anti-gang initiative. She helped young women and young men get out of gangs, stay out of gangs, and stay out of trouble. And she helped them get jobs and helped them go back to school and get their not their GED, they had dropped out of school, some of them. She helped them back into school. They were able to get their high school diploma, stay out of trouble. Some of them had been in jail. They stopped doing wrong. Now they have jobs in the community. Now they're doing very well for their families. And then one thing she wanted to be also was a judge when she was a little girl. And she applied for a judgeship right here at the federal courthouse, right here out downtown in US 1. And she got the job, and she's a federal judge now. Right now. She just got the job a couple of weeks ago as a federal judge right here in Fort Pierce. A little girl from Fort Pierce did all of that, even though she had kids who were jealous of her and they were mean to her. She did not let that stop her. She did her best, and now some of us may have to go to her one day. So you keep on, that dream can be done. But our speaker said it, I said it, your principal said it, even though she didn't say it today, I know she said it. Your teachers, your administrators here, everybody's saying to you, you must work hard. And some of us have to work hard on our attitudes, on ourselves. Work hard in that area too, because people like people who are likable, right? So, I want to at this time present this certificate to Deputy Chief Frank Amandro for your outstanding contribution to the students of St. Lucie County and to the students here at McCarty Middle School. Thank you. And you see that man back there? See that man back there taking the picture? That's my husband of over 42 years. 42 years. Yeah, we had to work hard in that area too. So, work hard. Whatever you do in life, what are you going to do? Work hard. Ms. Sullivan, would you please come up at this time? Thank you so much. Without her, we wouldn't be here because she is your principal. She says what goes on at this school and what doesn't go. Put your hands together for your principal to show her how appreciative you are of bringing us here. And you're here today because of your principal, because last year we didn't talk to the sixth graders. We were here every month, but we didn't talk to the sixth graders. This year she said, I want my sixth, I'm going to your baby.
They're my babies, they are there.
I want my sixth graders here to hear the Speakers Bureau. So,
Well, you guys did well. You did super well. Very nice.
Oh, what a nice looking group. One more.
Thank you.
Turn this way quickly. There you go.
Thank you. All right.